and it will subside. And she tries so hard, do yoga, do this, and and she occupies herself so that she keeps herself so busy, so that she don't have time to think, so that she have no time to think. So this will not pop up in her mind, but this is not the way to deal with it. Sometimes you just look at it and it will stop by itself. And the same thing. So whatever, you don't just make peace with that, whatever come out. So that's why sometimes it's good that sometimes you can do a little bit of reflection, to develop the positive side, the positive attitude, So sometimes it's not about what kind of meditation, what kind of techniques that we should use, But to develop the attitude is important. And try to look at it, why I'm not peaceful, to put in the causes. So like to make that good meditation karma, so put in the causes and things happen by itself. So okay, so today we will do some, have this guided meditation. So we just try to do some reflection and to develop some gratitude and contentment before we start our meditation, to do a little bit of reflection, because this is help to calm our mind down. And this, we use this as a way, as a skillful means to calm our mind down, rather than we try to use willpower to push the mind, to try to stop the mind from having this unwholesome emotion, okay? Just relax. And choose the most comfortable posture. And make yourself as comfortable as you can. So just let us bring attention into this moment. Just let's be thankful to be here. And just be thankful that if we did not learn a lot today, at least we learn a little. Even if we didn't learn a little today, at least we are not sick. Even if we got sick, at least we are not dead, we're still alive. Just let us be thankful, the appreciative, the fact that we're still alive. The fact that we're still breathing. And not to take it for granted. We look upon each breath being so precious. Being appreciative of every single breath that we breathe in. We counting each breath, and this is a blessing. each breath that we breathe in is a blessing. Just be thankful that we be able to be here to meditate together. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be here, be able to meditate. To appreciate, to have the opportunity to be here to meditate. As we arouse the joy and happiness, the mind becomes more energetic and bright and more alert. Just being here, enjoying every single breath that we breathe in. So we're going to end the meditation by counting 3 in and out breath. You can open your mind, you can open your eyes. Okay, so the first question is, how can we replenish the mental energy so one does not feel depressed so much, especially when waking up in the morning? And actually this you can do it when we wake up in the morning, and then that's you bring up that gratitude, that to arouse thoughts of loving kindness or thinking of what I can do for others. But when you think of that, actually it's helped you. You say, wow, I'm alive. What can I do? What can I be of service to others? What can I give today? Because when you give, and you arouse the energy and inspire you, to develop that. And I used to do that, especially in the early days when I was still anagarikas. And normally I do it while having my breakfast. So every morning when I having my breakfast, so the first bite, the first, the food I put into my mouth, the first mouth that I put in, then I will reflect. I will bring to mind, those that have helped me in my life, that I developed that respect, that devotion towards the person, then because sometimes I feel like some of the qualities that I don't think that I have that qualities, so I just deliberately bring that to mind, and to really express my gratitude, to appreciate someone, and to develop that devotion, the gratitude towards someone. I find that it's good. And then the second part, I will bring, those, that in mind that, that really help me in my life, that I really appreciate that, to develop the appreciation, to appreciate that, you can bring someone in mind that arouse that, you think of someone, some people you can't, some people you bring that to mind, you already, can't bear to think of that person, but you bring someone that can easily, to arouse that feelings, you bring it, then to appreciate, because sometimes it's important to have all these qualities. Sometimes it's not that you just sit there and meditate, you get nowhere. So it's important to develop all these qualities, and that support us also in our meditation, also in our life, and that these qualities actually that leads to positive emotion, happiness. And then the third bite, the third, I scope, and then the third mouthful of food that I put into my mouth, then I bring all the beings, that contribute into this the food, those who offer the food, those who have prepared the food, and all the beings contribute towards the food. Then I'm just so grateful, that I have loving kindness, develop loving kindness, compassion to all beings, that contribute towards the food, so that I have the food. Because sometimes very easily that we take it for granted, we have all these things, and then we think that, and we don't really look at how much effort put in, those who prepare the food, and those beings contribute, the food, sometimes how it's not that it's easily we just have the food, but the food that we have, someone have to harvest it, isn't it? And so all the job, all the people prepare and all the beings contribute, all the effort they have put in, all the contribution. So I reflect on that. Then sometimes it's helped you to arouse that thoughts of loving kindness, and then to be thankful. Sometimes if we don't have that, whatever, even we are in the best situation, we still think, oh, it's not good enough, we want better, it's not good enough. Sometimes we are unable to appreciate what we already got. Sometimes we learn to appreciate things. If we don't appreciate things, no matter what we have, we are unable to enjoy what we have. So if we don't develop that qualities, to have that gratitude, to being able to appreciate, whatever we have, not to take it for granted. And actually, we enjoy our life much more. We're happy. We get happy, isn't it? Oh, I'm so happy when I look at it. Oh, this food, And sometimes it's really aroused lots of, sometimes it inspires me that because of, and I ask myself, am I worthy of that? People offer me food, people put into, so much effort put in, and that's like, you arouse the energy and give you, because when we inspire, when we're happy, that you have the energy and the inspiration, you inspire. And especially morning is good. Take a little bit of time when we have breakfast. I did that for a few years. I find that it's very useful, especially some of the qualities I noticed that maybe I lack of that kind of qualities. Then I do it. Sometimes we have to brainwash ourselves, condition ourselves, to deliberately bring it, to bring, someone or, these feelings, in mind, that these thoughts of loving kindness, whatever you bring up. And you do that, and it's because part of my life, my habit. I do that every day for years, and actually, it's truly and naturally that it become like a habit. Like naturally, whatever you take, you really appreciate every single thing, whatever you receive. You don't, or not good enough. If you don't have that gratitude, you don't have the contentment. Even you have the best things, the top quality, you still think that it's not good enough, and then you enjoy much more, and it makes your life, more meaningful and happier. And the second question is, can you advise how can I overcome deep sadness I feel almost every day and strongly in meditation coming from past experience and meaningless? Where is joy in my life and how can I find it? First of all, that we have, if we think, first of all, we have to come to a place of acceptance. That is very important. Because a lot of people come from the place of, I don't like it. How can I overcome that? How can I get rid of this? I don't like it. That's why it's good that develop that loving kindness, to accept, to come to a place of acceptance. When we come to a place of acceptance, actually it's less suffering, isn't it? Sometimes, for example, we have lots of pain. The more we try to get rid of pain, we feel more, isn't it? The moment we accept the pain, it's okay. It's okay to be there. It's okay that I feel sad. Because we come with that place that we think that this is a problem. I shouldn't feel this way. It's terrible, it's bad. The more we think that, and then sometimes people think that, I meditate so that this will go away. And that it should not come from the right place, And like Ajahn used to say, we meditate is not to get something or to get rid of anything. We meditate to let go. Letting go is not getting rid of things. Acceptance is letting go. It's okay that we feel this way. It's okay that I feel grumpy. Grumpiness is just being grumpiness. Depressed is just being depressed. But how much we add on, isn't it? We think that it's terrible, is that we shouldn't feel that way. Sometimes when the moment we accept that, acceptance is letting go. We let it be. We let it be, it will stop. Sometimes we try very hard to get rid of that. We think that we have to overcome this. I shouldn't feel that way. And actually, when we come to a place of acceptance, then we letting go is letting be. And some of the things also is help with the tips, because sometimes all this when you're peaceful and calm, sometimes it tends to have some some of those unresolved emotion may emerge. And if we try to push it away, actually we reinforce that. And then next time when you meditate, it comes more and more. So that's why sometimes it's good that we come to a place of acceptance, accepting that it's okay, this is how I feel. I feel sad. I experience that. And that is when you find that, then you learn to make peace with that. Then another technique we can use when we have the sadness, we embrace that sadness, we accept that the sadness. You just do the breathing exercise. Breathing in sadness, breathing out peace. So it's okay. So when we do that, when we breathing in sadness, we just remind ourselves, breathing in sadness, breathing out peace. Because then we embrace the sadness. We are not rejecting, we are not pushing away. When we push away, when we reject, that is ill will. When we have ill will towards that, it make it worse. But we embrace, we're a loving kindness. It's okay that we feel this way. Embrace that, And because when you said that to yourself, you're that, breathing in sadness. When you breathing in sadness, breathe out peace. Actually, we've put that imprint in our mind that we make peace. We embrace that sadness. It's okay that we feel that way. Because the more we try to get it, we try to push it, actually we are reinforcing that. The intensity of that emotion each time will become more intense, because we when we try to push it away, actually we reinforce, And so it's good that we can use that technique to just breathing in and breathing. You can use whatever words that that is more click, different people, But to me, I find this. Many people find it quite useful. Like some people have anxieties, so they're breathing in anxieties, breathing out peace. So we accept that, have the imprint in our mind that it's okay. We accept this sadness. It's okay that I feel that way, and then we make peace with that. So we learn to make peace with what we experience, rather than we try to manipulate, we try to get rid of it, try to use willpower. So acceptance is letting go, it's okay. Because sometimes we try to fight, we try to push it away, then it's not letting go, we try to getting rid of things, okay? And the third question, thank you for your teaching. How does one stop raising mind, especially during those nights it wakes up and doesn't let us have a good rest? I think because of sometimes we are very busy, very busy in the day, and that's why at night the mind like couldn't stop, And sometimes it's good if you can't sleep at night, it's also good that you just sit there and you just do you can still do the breathing exercise, breathing in, how you feel that moment, you breathing out, make peace with that. Sometimes if you try to force yourself to sleep, counterproductive. It's just like I can't sleep, I can't sleep, you just sit there. And eventually you'll fall asleep, because if you try to force yourself that, I have to sleep, isn't it? Sometimes we think that we have to go to bed. The harder we try, and then we even more awake, can't sleep, Sometimes you let it be, you know. And sometimes naturally, you know, and sometimes it's good that you just do some breathing exercise, you know, just breathing in, have a deep breath, you know. And sometimes also it's good that also you can do some reflection, just some wise reflection, you know, rather than forcing yourself to sleep. And then, you know, eventually, you know, you will sleep. And not to worry so much about, you know, try to make yourself to sleep. I remember early days, like, you know, you think that I have to get up early, and then, you know, sometimes you get up very early, you're very sleepy, slot and topper. And then sometimes I try to fight with the slot and topper, because you get up early, sometimes it's a little bit of, you know, slot and topper, and then you're just sitting there, I'm just, you know, my head is just nothing, just like that. And then the more sometimes you try to, you know, sit, the more you fight, actually it's very tiring. And then eventually I let go, I give up, I just let myself, I just sit there like this, and then eventually that stop, you know. And actually the moment it stopped, that nothing, actually my mind becomes really bright, and then I start to be able to really focus on my breath, and then I started to enjoy the breath. Of course, unfortunately, sometimes you started to enjoy the breath, very nice, and then okay, my alarm goes off, oh, time's up, I need to go, you know, for breakfast. Sometimes you cannot fight, sometimes you have to let it be, you know, it's okay. Sometimes the mind wander off, you know, sometimes you try too hard to, you know, push it, you pull your mind back, come back. Actually, the harder you pull, the worse, you know. Sometimes you let it go a little bit, actually it will stop by itself, you know. Not to worry so much about that, not try to control. It's okay. Sometimes, you know, and sometimes there are many reasons that we can't sleep or whatever, you know, but not too worry about that, you know, because sometimes that you start worrying about that, actually you make it worse, and you really mess up the whole thing, you know. And it's okay, you know. Sometimes this is how we feel. We don't always, you know, feel bright and beautiful, isn't it? Sometimes, you know, this is part of life. It's okay, you know. Sometimes I feel a bit down. Sometimes I feel bright. And then, you know, like the Buddha said that, you know what, when you feel down, you just know that you're down. You know, that it will stop there. But if you try to think that I shouldn't feel that, I have to make it, I have to cheer myself up, you know. Actually, you're messing around, you make it worse. If you let it be, because this is the most Buddhist basic teaching. Things arises, pass away. Things won't keep going up, you know. You just let it be, you know, it comes. Whatever arises in this moment, it will subside by itself. If you leave it alone, it will subside by itself. So actually when you started to do that, and you can see that pattern, you can see that, and then and then over a period of time, you started to develop the confidence, the faith. You know that it's going to go away, and you don't worry about that. You know that it's not going to stay. Okay. Questions. The question number 4. When brightness arises during recollections of virtue during meditation, there is desire to maintain the experience. Later it becomes to fade away. What would be the growth of joy in meditation? Sometimes when the brightness arises that moment, and you have to allow the mind. Sometimes you have to allow the mind go to more refined stages. But sometimes, for example, some people meditate. They started to experience joy, and they hold on to the joy, and actually the joy still have that bit of excitement. So, and your mind go more refined. Actually, you have to let go of the causal happiness, and actually you just allow the mind to go to more refined. But because of the desires, disturb the mind, because you want it to stay, you know. And this is naturally, you know, this is, you let it be, and the mind would naturally go to a more deeper level. But because of you hold on to that, You know, it's just like the Buddha give the simile of someone, you know, that go to the forest and pick up a piece of iron, and then they hold on to the iron, and then later they see something better, you know, a copper, you know, they still hold on to that, and then see gold also, silver, they still hold on to that, and they come across with a gold also, they still hold on to that. You know, sometimes you let that go, you know, and not to try to control, you know. And then I have some people that they hold on to that because sometimes when their happiness cease, actually you go to another more refined level. You go into that very subtle peace, you know, because that is the more refined. You don't have that excitement. You know, and naturally you go from the stages, you know, you go more deeper stages, but not to hold on to that, you know. Then you always stop there. You never go deep, you know. So you never go deep. So that's why it's okay. So that's why, because it's not allowed, because it's later it begins to fade away. Of course it will fade away. Nothing say. You know, but it will go to more deeper level. But you hold on to that, you never go to deeper level. So that's why, in order to growth, would be growth of joy in meditation, is to let it go. Don't try to hold on to it. You let it go, you know, then you have the joy of letting go. You free yourself. When we're holding on to things, you know, when we have desires, how do we feel when we crave for something? We feel tight, isn't it? When we want something, whenever you want something, you try to pay attention to your body, you can feel all the tension in your body. You tense up, you know, that actually you agitate your mind. Of course it fades away, but you let it go. You let it be, you know. So not to hold on to it. You know, you just then you have the joy of letting go. Don't try to hold on to things, you know. Because like some people say, when the moment that they see, oh, nimitta, they're so happy, you know, they see the light, you know, and then they try to hold on to the nimitta, and then they say, oh, the nimitta go away. The nimitta won't go away. Actually, because the mind actually you move. It's not the nimitta move. The nimitta is the reflection of your mind. Because you move, because it's fade away. Because we move, because you want. The wanting itself stir up the mind and it's move. So that's why that to let go of that desires. So I hope this answers this person's questions. So any more questions or comments? Any more questions or comments? Okay, no more questions or comments. So thank you for attending this session.